Hi, students. Let's get started with the subject Science Chapter 4. Exploring Magnets. Reshma lives in a coastal town of Kerala and is very fond of writing short stories. Her grandmother loves listening to her stories, so Reshma was writing a new story to share with her grandmother on her 60th birthday. Exploring Magnets. The story was based on a ship carrying spices from Kerala for trade in the olden days. Reshma was aware that in those days, the sailors used stars to find directions at night. But in her story, a situation arose wherein the sailors got caught in a storm with an overcast sky and stars were not visible. Reshma could not take her story forward as she could not think of a way for sailors to find directions. She searched for information on the internet and her school library. She learned that the travelers used a device known as a magnetic compass for finding directions. Reshma had seen pencil boxes and purses which had magnets to keep them closed. A writing board in her school also had a duster with a magnet. But she had never looked at those carefully. She now became curious to learn more about magnets and magnetic compasses. The magnets used by sailors in the olden days were based on naturally occurring magnets known as lodestones, which were discovered in ancient times. Later on, people found out that magnets could also be made from pieces of iron. Nowadays, we have magnets made of different materials. The magnets that you find in your school laboratory and those used in pencil boxes, stickers, toys are all artificial magnets. The magnets can be of various shapes. 4.1 Magnetic and non-magnetic materials. Was your prediction correct for all objects? Which materials stuck to the magnet? What conclusion can you draw? Through this activity, we found out that some of the objects were attracted to the magnet and stuck to it, while others were not. The materials which are attracted towards a magnet are called magnetic materials. The metal iron is a magnetic material. Nickel and cobalt are other metals that are also magnetic. Some of their combinations with other metals are also attracted towards magnets. The materials which are not attracted towards a magnet are called non-magnetic materials. Which materials were found to be non-magnetic? 4.2 Poles of magnet. Do you observe anything special about the way they stick to the magnet? Do the iron filings stick all over the magnet uniformly? Or do the iron filings stick more at some places? We find that maximum iron filings stick near the ends of the bar magnet, while a very few iron filings stick at the remaining part of the magnet dot. Iron filings sticking to a bar magnet. Do all parts of a magnet attract magnetic materials equally? If we repeat this activity with magnets of other shapes, do we get the same result? If we have noticed the direction where the sun rises or sets, we have an approximate idea of where east or west is. Hence, we can locate the direction along which the magnet rests. These ends of the magnet are called the two poles of the magnet, the North Pole and the South Pole. Most of the iron filings stick to the poles of a magnet of any shape. It is not possible to obtain a magnet with a single pole. If a magnet is broken into smaller pieces, north and south poles always exist in pairs even in the smallest piece of the magnet. A single north pole or a south pole cannot exist. 4.3 Finding directions. A freely suspended magnet comes to rest along the north-south direction. The end of the magnet that points towards north direction is called the north-seeking pole or the north pole of the magnet. The other end that points towards the south direction is called the south-seeking pole or the south pole of the magnet. A freely suspended magnet rests along the north-south direction because our Earth itself behaves like a giant magnet. Repeat this activity with a small iron bar in place of the bar magnet. What do you observe? Does it always rest along north-south direction? It does not. It can rest along any direction. This implies that only magnets rest along north-south direction. This activity provides us with a way to test whether a piece of metal is a magnet or not. The property of a freely suspended magnet to always rest along the north-south direction is used to find directions. Based on this, a small device called a magnetic compass was developed in olden days for finding directions. It has a magnet in the shape of a needle which can rotate freely. The needle of a magnetic compass indicates the north-south direction. The compass is kept at the place where we wish to know the directions. After some time, the needle comes to rest in the north-south direction. The compass box is then gently rotated until the north and south mark on the dial are aligned with the needle. Now all directions at that place are as indicated on the dial. A magnetic compass is usually a small circular box with a transparent cover on it. The magnet, in the shape of a needle, is mounted on a pin standing on the bottom of the box. This needle is balanced on the pin in such a manner that it can move around this point easily, that is, it can rotate freely. The end of the needle which rests in the north direction is usually painted red. Below the needle, there is a dial with directions marked on it. Much before the widespread use of the modern magnetic compass, a device similar to the compass needle made by you was used by Indians for navigation at sea. It consisted of a magnetized fish-shaped iron piece kept in a vessel of oil. It was called Matsyayantra or Matsyantra. 4.4 Attraction and repulsion between magnets. You will see that unlike poles of two magnets, that is, the north pole of one magnet and the south pole of another magnet, attract each other. The like poles, that is, either the north poles or the south poles of both magnets, repel each other. When the north pole of a magnet is brought closer to the north pole of the compass needle, it moves away, as when the south pole of the magnet is brought closer to the north pole of the compass needle. It moves closer. Suppose we place a piece of wood between the compass needle and the magnet. Will this affect the deflection of the compass needle? You would observe that there is no appreciable change in the deflection of the needle when a sheet of any of the above material is placed between the magnet and the compass needle. So, we can conclude that the magnetic effect can act through non-magnetic materials. 4.5 Fun with magnets. After learning about magnets, Reshma was very excited and decided to set up some fun activities using magnets at her school fair. You may try making these yourself and may also think of some more fun ideas. Can we take the steel balls out of the maze by moving a magnet below the cardboard tray? Can we pick out a steel paper clip fallen in water using a magnet without making our fingers or the magnet wet? Will the two cars speed towards each other or run away from each other when brought closer? In some magnets, the north and south poles are marked as N and S. In some other magnets, the North Pole is indicated by a white dot. Sometimes, the North Pole of a magnet is painted red and South Pole is painted blue. How to keep the magnets safe? Magnet says, store me properly. Keep me in pairs with unlike poles on the same side. Keep a piece of wood in between. Place 2 pieces of soft iron across the ends. Do not heat me or drop me or hammer me. Do not keep me near mobile phones or remote controls. Thanks for watching.